What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another video. I want to talk to all the beginner traders out there. I feel like a lot of the time I get lost myself of speaking maybe too advancedly, forgetting that there's many people that are just starting out trading, and I want to tend to you guys as well. So this one's going to be more so for the beginners. Simple tips of where to start, where to begin. Obviously, there's so much to cover. I can't do it all in one video, but I'm going to try to hit on a few of them here that I think are very, very important, and just simple exercises to try to get your feet wet, get some footing and a nice foundation. So let's get into the charts here and look at the first one. The first one would be I guess the first one, I'm going to change it up on the fly. Honestly, not being biased, sign up for AceFX TV. I'm not trying to be salesy, but if you're struggling and you're in the beginning stages, the best bet is to watch other traders trade live. That way you can interact with them in real time, ask questions, see what they're feeling, what they're not feeling, why didn't they do this, why did they do that, right? You're going to get the quickest answers. And honestly, we have all the replays to the streams. So rather than going off on your own and trading for a full week, right, for 2 hours a day, you can go back and skip a week and just study our week of trading and another week of trading, right? Get those hours underneath your belt, cram them all in rather than having to wait for tomorrow's New York Open. Go study another days of trading that has already been traded, what they did, what they didn't do. And obviously, to tie with that, any beginner, advanced, whatever, you're going to need a trading strategy. And I have mine here on Futures 2.0. It's on the same website that you're going to watch these streams on, so that's why it's perfect. I'll teach you the strategy here, and you could do it as a beginner. Of course, you're going to need to watch 101 first, because that's for the beginners. But then once you get that done, the strategy that you're going to trade, definitely here in 2.0. Then come watch me trade them live on the streams here. And now the sale's done. I'm sorry about that. Get that out of the way, but that is true. If you're struggling and you're a beginner, you should be watching other traders trade live. How you're going to understand what they're doing, what they're not doing, the strategy they're trading. That's how. But now on the trading view charts, what you can actually do to try to get a little small edge in the beginning, not to overcomplicate things, is simply go to the regular trading hours, right, to cut out all the pre-market noise. That simply, if you just put on a New York VWAP from that 9:30 open, let's put that here. The simple tip for beginners, just to keep it simple, only trade on the right side of it. So if you're below it, you're looking for shorts. If you're above it, you're looking for longs. Now, you can't just solely trade it on every single time it's above or below. We're going to need to add other layers. But you're going to have a lot better odds. If you're trying to sell it underneath, you're going to have a lot better odds of catching this move, this little move, this whole move underneath it. Right now, of course, you could sell it at terrible prices, which is why we're not just selling it whenever underneath it, because you could still get wiped out by these bullish pullbacks. But overall, stick on the right side of it. You're going to have a lot better odds to find that success. And even on the upside, right? Let's put on a New York VWAP here, because you can see this is a prime example. If we put it on the 9:30 there, if I could put it on 9:30 there, if I was just saying buy it every time, which I'm not, buy it, sell it, buy it, sell it. That's two back and forth. There's no strategy to that. So overall, let the trend come in. Once you now have identifiable trend like higher highs and higher lows down here, we're creating higher lows, clearly higher highs. Trade with the longs. You're going to have a lot better odds than trying to call the top and short it. So, okay, now how can we long it when we are above it, since that's what I'm supposed to do? But when can I long it, right? Simply just put on higher day VWAPs at the top until you see a pullback. Now you're going to have to get, I guess, your own opinion, picky with what you identify as a pullback. In the course, I show you what I think is a pullback, right? Because some people are going to say this is a pullback. I tend to disagree, but to each their own, right? But see the nice clean trend, see identifiable pullback, and then buy it next time buyers step back in, which is back above that high day VWAP, to go continue that trend, right? So next thing, New York VWAP, trade with the trend. Should be pretty self-explanatory that you're going to have pretty good odds doing that. Then I would even add another one on top of there. You can see these horizontal black lines. That's the opening range, which is the first 15 minutes of New York Open, right? From the high and low. We're on the 1 minute chart here. That to just be safe for all the beginners out there, I would even recommend only trading once you're outside of it, right? Because there's a lot of, you can see on this day, a lot of choppiness while you're still stuck inside. So rather than trying to predict what side it's going to break out of, when is it going to break out of it, no shame in just saying, I'm going to wait and see what side it pops out of. We can see it breaks to the upside. Now we're being a little bit more patient. We give it some more time throughout the day. We can now clearly see some bullish price action. Okay, nice. So I was patient. I waited for us to get outside of it. Evan said, wait for trend to come in. I see bullish trend. We're above the New York view up here, like he said. So I should only be looking for longs. We're outside the opening range now. So I passed through all this. Good for me. Now I can find my longs outside of it somewhere in here, and I'm going to be taking all the pullbacks, not all, but I'm going to be taking the pullbacks of high day VWAP to go continue that trend. Obviously, it's not going to work when there is no trend, which is why this chop, no trend, no breakouts. All right, just to keep it simple that way. And just to remind you guys, this all is explained in the Futures 101, as well as the 2.0. You'll see the more in-depth on the VWAP breaks that I'm talking about, of which pullbacks I like, off what key levels, what indicators you need on your chart besides this, and as well as how to manage these trades once you're in them, right? Where does the stop loss go on these break of high days, right? But first, I don't want to confuse and overwhelm all the beginners, so we're going to keep it as simple as trade on the right side of the VWAP, aka this New York one, trade outside the range, and I'll give you another one here. Let's go to the 15-minute. This was a 1-minute chart, by the way. Let's go to the 15-minute. You're going to use the ETH this time, so on the bottom right, it's behind my camera, but on the bottom right of your trading view, it'll say ETH or RTH, regular trading hours, electronic. Go to the electronics, that way you can see all the Asia session and London session price action. And these horizontal lines are the changeover of day, just in case someone doesn't know how to do that. Go to your settings, go down to events, and then session breaks. So you can see that'll break up the sessions. But that way you could just see more of the trend of on the 15-minute, the bigger picture, that many times on that 1-minute chart I was just showing you, we might be seeing this on the 1-minute. Oh, wow, super bullish. Look at us come in bullish. But keeping a peek on that 15-minute, you're still going to see, actually not at all. We're still making clear lower highs and lower lows. I do not want to be a buyer, right? So use that 15-minute to your advantage to help see the bigger picture, right? Think of it as a chapter. And now go down to the 1-minute to see the page that we're on when we're ready to move that next leg lower. I know this chapter is bearish. The trend is bearish on the 15. Now let me go down to the 1-minute and wait for my bearish page to show my shorts on a lower day VWAP break outside the range and below the New York VWAP, right? Inversely of all those longs we just looked at. If we're in this bearish trend, I'm going to want to be below the New York and below the opening range low, that black horizontal line. And I have a lot better odds of finding easy, cleaner shorts than trying to call the bottoms, right? The worst thing to do, it's the toughest part to do, is get induced into a little bit of price action like this, thinking we could chase those longs back up and you can make money in them. But if we're starting out trying to find consistency and we're new to trading, the trend is your, I'm going to say friend, trend is your best friend. Even for the advanced traders, trend is your best friend. We could even look at today's price action. There was no trend and it was not my friend. Very, very tough to trade this type of price action based off of the strategies that I trade. I'd say for many people how they trade. I don't know too many range traders that are really, really good, but they are out there. Where if you go to just the day prior, not this day, which was all choppy, the day prior, clear lower highs and lower lows. Let's turn on that open range low and New York VWAP that Evan was talking about. Okay, so I only want to find shorts below it, but he was saying lower day VWAP break, so I have to wait for a pullback. This is just falling without me. I cannot short that. But once we start to see a pullback here, all right. I don't want to buy that because I'm below the New York VWAP. So I don't care about buying it underneath it. Let it go up higher if it wants. I'm going to sell it once it breaks back below because the trend is bearish. So I need to trade with the trend short, break up lower day VWAP, stop loss at the structure. Let's go catch that next trend, right? So many people are going to want to try to buy these, and you might get lucky here and there. But long term, consistency wise, repeatable wise, the trend is your friend. Simply put it, trend is your friend. I don't want to keep repeating it, but so many times I get caught up in trying to fight the trend, and it's just worse probabilities. Why would I try to do that? That even if I make money on it today, if I try to do it every day of the week, I'm going to get smoked eventually, and I'm not going to win more than 6 or 7 times out of 10, where if I trade it in trend, I'm going to have probabilities on my side. All right, so of course, there's so many other things I could tell all the beginners. I'll make other videos about that. If you guys drop it in the comments below what you would like to hear more about or what you're struggling with the most, I could certainly make a video on it if I see the same things popping up over and over again. And even if you're a new trader, many of you are trying to get funded. So I would suggest a lot of people of us in AceFX on the streams are trading with Tradeify, starting by their accounts as a straight to funded one. So if you want to do that, there's a link in the bio of this video as well in the description. Definitely go over there, take advantage of their sales. There's one running out now, but they're always having a sale. So check on the top, see what their active code is, use the link below, and then, yeah, check out Futures 2.0 to get that advanced strategy once you get through your little beginner stage. and you're ready to take a next step up, come over to Futures 2.0, trade live with me on AceFX TV. Even if you are a beginner, you're welcome to tune into the chat. You're still going to understand what I'm talking about. I'm not that smart. I wouldn't even say I'm smart. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Trade safe as always, and I'll see you guys on the charts tomorrow morning.